Hello everyone, Ray Gaynor here, your Scottish Texan, and I want to welcome you to Real Men Wear Kilts. How's everybody doing today? Listen, I wanted to do something different today, and instead of doing a review of some sharp, pointy things, I thought I'd do a book review. This weekend is the premiere weekend for Season 5 of Outlander, and I know a number of people in the Real Men Wear Kilts group does enjoy Outlander. So what I thought I'd do is actually review a really good book. It's Outlander Kitchen, and it's by Teresa Carl Sanders. And this is a great book. As you can see, I use it. And there are some great recipes in here. She also has a website that is tied to this book called OUTLANDERKITCHEN.com. And there are a number of the recipes that you can find in the book on this website as well. So I encourage you to go check it out. That's OUTLANDERKITCHEN.com. I'll put a link down below in the comments and stuff. But I thoroughly enjoy this book. As some of you may know, I am the cook of the family, and I do enjoy cooking myself. I've been cooking since, oh my gosh, age 5. So I do have a collection of cookbooks, and my family knows that I enjoy really old cookbooks. One of my favorite cookbooks actually is a old, a Victory Kitchen World War II cookbook that talks about how to stretch your food and everything in the Victory Kitchen. So anyways, Outlander Kitchen. This is truly good book. I got it from Amazon, and again, I'll put the link to this book down below so that you can order it yourself. It'll help us make a couple pennies off of each sale of the book. But she has done a great job. And what I love about this book is that everything in the book is tied to something in Diana Gabaldon's novels. So, for example, here is a recipe for Miss Fitzgibbon's porridge. And in it, she opens up each recipe with a portion of the book that she pulled from, telling you what chapter and everything that she's talking about. So in this section here, it's where Clara goes down to the kitchen and she's running late from breakfast and everything, but Mrs. Fitzgibbon agrees to, hey, listen, you missed breakfast already, but here's some porridge. And she slaps some big old dollop on a bowl, and then, of course, Clara passes it up because it's just one big ball of goo. But anyways, this is a great recipe, and it talks about overnight porridge and how you can make porridge overnight. And just simple rundown is that you get a pot of boiling water, drop your porridge in some places she's also mentioned of using something like chicken broth or something to spice up the porridge if you want more of a savory sort of porridge, or you can just let it go and like nutmeg and cinnamon and everything. But what you do is you just put the lid over it overnight, and it turns into porridge next day, ready to go. Wham bam. So really, really interesting books. Other things that are really interesting recipes. Other things that I liked is that she incorporates some of the more unusual things. For example, she has a recipe here for coddled eggs for Duncan's breakfast, and this is from the book of Fiery Cross. Now, if you don't have an egg coddler, which I happen to have, is an egg coddler. This is a 2 or 3 egg coddler. And what you do is you line this with butter, which she does talk about in the book, and you drop your eggs into it, and then you can put spices and herbs and onions and bacon and ham and other things like this, and you put the lid on, put it in boiling water, and just let it sit there, and that's how you coddle eggs. But she has Duncan's, coddled egg breakfast in the book, and again, she's referencing in the book what chapter and everything. It was from Fiery Cross, chapter 39, and so it's just a interesting little thing, because I happen to have an egg coddler. In the olden days, what they would do is you would slice off the top of the egg and put the egg itself in the boiling water, which at times is not very good unless you have an egg holder. But it doesn't work from time to time. That's why these are a lot better. Now you can buy these on Amazon. I think this one's from England, and it's a Westshire, but it's my mom gave this to me, and she got this over in England when she was visiting England. But these you can buy an inexpensive one for like $20 or so. But I think this one is something like $60. It's a 3-egg, and it's from England and all that other stuff. But anyways, egg collars, give it a try. But she does talk about this in her book, and she ties it to, again, a chapter in the book. Another great recipe here is, and I thought this was, I'm actually thinking about cooking this. We're going to an Outlander watch party this Sunday. And so I'm really considering making these. These are called, this recipe is called Murtaugh's Gift to Ellen from Outlander. And for those of you who remember, Murtaugh had the hots for Jamie's mom way back in the day. And to prove himself a true man, what he did is he got the Mackenzie's blessing to go out and kill a boar. And the Mackenzie thought he did such a great job, he awarded him these incredible boar tusks. Now, what he did then is, turned them into jewelry and then gave them to Ellen, who was Jamie Fraser's mother, as a love token to prove how much he loves her and all this other stuff. She ended up still marrying Jamie's dad, Brian. But it's a great recipe, very interesting, and you use crispy bread, puff pastry. She used puff pastry to form your bracelets, and also using asparagus tips and prosciutto. These are all really good. They all go well together. But a nice little appetizer that you can make, and these are something that I'm considering making for our Outlander watch party. Another recipe that I'm considering looking at for the Outlander watch party is called Cullen Skink. And if you're familiar with Scottish dishes and everything, this is something that you hear a lot about. Basically, this is potato soup with smoked cod or smoked haddock or some sort of smoked white fish. We have a smoker, and I was thinking about taking a bunch of cod and smoking the cod so we'd have it, and then make the Cullen Skink. And you make this, again, it's a basic potato soup, and instead of onions you would use leeks, and you can also use the onions and stuff, and then you incorporate the smoked cod at the very last so that the cod doesn't break down, or the haddock doesn't break down in the cooking process. But a very good dish, very stick to your ribs, very warm, fuzzy, and a good recipe. Again, all these recipes that I'm talking to you about right now, you can also go find on Outlander Kitchen. Again, I highly encourage you to go check that out. Outlander Kitchen is going to be linked down below again in the description. Another final thing that I like about her book is that she even has drinks. So certain aperitifs and other sort of enjoyable adult beverages. But one of the ones that she does talk about is what's called Jamie's Rusty Nail. And a rusty nail is a really super simple drink for all you Scotch drinkers out there looking for something new, something to try and everything, is a rusty nail. And what a rusty nail is 1.5 ounces or 1.5 jiggers of Scotch. And it could be peated, unpeated. I would highly recommend just kind of getting something like Johnny Walker or Red Label or something like that. And then a 1/2 ounce or a 1/2 jigger of Drambuie. Now, what Drambuie is when Jolly Prince Charlie fled from the British troops and everything. He fled to, I believe, the Isle of Skye. Yeah, he fled to the Isle of Skye. And one of the patrons or households protected Bonnie Prince Charlie and helped him, in those days to flee and to hide out from the British. In exchange for all that, what he did is Bonnie Prince Charlie gave him the recipe to Drambuie. And this recipe is still made to this day by the family and is still holding to the original recipe that Bonnie Prince Charlie gave to the family. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is Scotch that has some honey and herbs and then and other spices and stuff. Pretty sweet, pretty thick. It is a good aperitif or after dinner drink, but give it a try as a rusty nail. On your rusty nail, what you want to do also at times, give a twist of lemon on top or just throw it into the glass. But it's a 1.5 jiggers of Scotch to 1/2 jigger of Drambuie and a lemon twist, and that you will have Jamie's Rusty Nail, or just a common rusty nail on that. But excuse me. But I really wanted to encourage you guys to look into getting this book if you enjoy cooking and you're enjoying the Outlander series and everything. Now, no, not all recipes in here are Scottish. I would say a good majority of them are Scottish, but there are some recipes from the Revolutionary War, like Fiery Cross and some of the other books. And so there are some American or colonial recipes as well, but a good number of Scottish recipes that you can find. But I highly encourage you to get the book. I'll put a link to the book down below so that you can order it from Amazon. I believe it's only like $24.95 on Amazon, but go check it out. The prices constantly change and everything. And with Outlander coming up this weekend, you might see a great sale at Amazon for Outlander Kitchen. So we'll see you. Goodbye, God bless, and kilt on.
I'm Dan Lyden with the Eastern United States Pipe Band Association, and you're watching Real Men Wear Kilts.